Okay. Happy Spiritual Sunday to you all. Happy Spiritual Sunday, you online over there around the world. All right, so let's start. Thank you for joining us, those of you online. We have our affirmation. And remember, like anything else, even though we do this every week, and I try and at least put us in the moment, but it becomes sometimes rote. Even I've been in the center almost 38 years now, Blanera. And, we've been taught from the first day, every day is a new day, and every day we should look at it like a new day, and there's new things to do. So even though, Kabbalistically, we essentially pray the same way every day, or at least 6 days a week, and things like that, and it's kind of the same prayers, or those of you who scan the ZOHAR every day, or do Ana B'Koach, same Ana B'Koach, same 72 names. So what makes the difference? You and I understand from Kabbalah 1, the only thing that's missing in our world to restore peace on earth and the Garden of Eden, heaven on earth, is the vessel. We have to be open to leave space for the light that's already in our soul to shine out and manifest. That's it. We've closed it. You say, like we've clogged it up. And therefore, all the potential can't be revealed. So even this, it's a simple affirmation. But we decide how great the impact is on us spiritually, how much it unblocks us. In other words, here at the end, okay, love, kindness, and compassion towards all human beings. We say it every week, but can any of us really say every day, at least even once or twice, every day this last week since we were here together, that we really made a conscious effort to have more love, kindness, and compassion towards the person we don't get along with, the person that pushes our buttons, the person that cheated on us or somehow irked us or somehow, harmed us in some way. Can we really say even once or twice this last week, we really put that into action? I don't want to raise your hand, but think about it. Hopefully some of you, yes, but how much more can we do? And that's what we're doing this for. It's not just, okay, it's a nice thing, positive thinking, and okay, we're all one and all one. So what? If we don't live it, what good is it? The Rav used to talk about all the knowledge, all the information you need is in the Library of Congress, right? Because they have all the books basically from all over the world. But how come it's not affecting people? Why isn't the world at peace? Because we have to learn how to take the facts and figures out of the books or even out of Kabbalah teachings and live them. And that's the point. If we don't live it, what good is it? Right? A brain surgeon. If a person was the best brain surgeon on earth, meaning they knew every little detail, but never went into the surgery room, what good is all that information? Nothing. So as we do this, let's commit ourselves literally, even before we make the commitment, right, of the affirmation, commit ourselves to at least one time this week. Find somebody that really is pushing your buttons, irritates you, irks you, and even just from a distance, just shine light on them. Just let a beam of light go out of your heart and soul to their heart and soul. Let it be that simple. This is just empowering us and giving us more conscious awakening of energy to do that. So let's say it together. Consciousness is everything. I raise my consciousness today to see the miracles and wonders of life. I commit myself to behave with greater love, compassion, and kindness towards all human beings. Okay, so I was reading one of the biblical stories, and this is where sort of today's come up from, or come out of. So if I ask you, who are you? Who are you? Okay, so of course, if I say, who are you? You're going to say, oh, I'm Chaim, or whatever your name is. That's who I am. Really. Sometimes you might say, who are you? Say, well, in my case, I'm a Kabbalah teacher. Whatever you are, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, whatever it is, right? Can I say that today? Okay, sorry. Okay. Someone's going to tell me, Chaim, you're showing your age, So, okay. But you understand, sometimes that's how we define ourselves. Or who am I? Well, I'm a member of this group. I'm a member of this place. I have this status. I have this job. I'm in this profession, whatever it is. And that's how we tend to identify ourselves, right? By something on the outside. Now, what about, okay, you get the idea. We can go on and on and on. So what about the idea, and maybe some of us, today I'm happy, having a good time, right? Woke up this morning, here I am with you wonderful people, you people online. I'm happy. Okay, but heaven forbid, sometime later something could happen, and then I say, oh, I'm not so happy, right? I'm a little annoyed. Yes, okay. They're reminding me. Just this morning, setting up for here, something happens, some little thing. A little bit annoyed. But at least I've learned from my point of view, and you don't know all the things that I've done, but I look, so my annoyance comes out like this. Really? A little thing happens. I go like, really? Really? Okay. So it's not like, I was never really, really out there angry and upset or what have you, but you're saying it's gotten better and better. But you take yourself to task sometimes, no? Today I'm happy, yesterday I'm not, today I'm smart. You ever look in the mirror and think, what an idiot. That was a stupid thing to do, right? But yesterday I thought I was brilliant. So who am I? Am I brilliant? Am I stupid? Am I up? Am I down? Where am I? Who am I? And we tend to mix up who I am with what I am. So one of the Kabbalists used the ideas, okay, if you walk into a ramshackled house, like a real shack, shoddy house, are you shoddy? Are you ramshackled? Are you, like broken down? No. If you walk into a mansion, right? 25 rooms, everything is sparkling and everything else. Is that you? No, I'm not that either. But that's what we're saying. So you walk into your job. Why are you your job? Why do you identify yourself as that profession? Oh, look at me. I'm a lawyer. I'm a doctor. I don't know. I'm a big business person. I'm a political leader. Whatever it is. Really? Is that who you are? And how do you know that's not true? If you really think about it, okay, we said ups and downs and things like that, but you take every big business person, the heads, what do they call them? The heads of industry, right? These people at the top. When they go home, who are they now? Think about them. If they've got a 6-year-old kid and they're the heads of industry, multi-billion-dollar business, and they go home, and the little 6-year-old kid, spits up on them. Now who are they? They're a stinky person because they just got vomited on. You understand? So what happened to the heads of the business and heads of industry? You get the idea? I want us to be aware. Consciousness is everything. So why are we identifying ourselves as those things? Because then when it's taken away, and I'm reminded I had a student very recently going through big changes in her life. And all of a sudden she started to feel like so off balance, like almost so empty. So I realized at that moment, why? Because I know her for many years in the center. Because the identity that she thought of herself was now being taken away. Think, the heads of industry. In fact, now I'm remembering, there was a guy, it wasn't COVID, it was way back, I think, with the 2008, business bust or whatever it was called, or the stock market went down, something like that. This guy going from making $750,000 a year. Suddenly, when everything collapsed, he was out delivering pizza, $15 an hour. Is he himself, is he a different person? Or like the house? One day, sort of metaphorically, he's in the mansion, and the next day he's in the ramshackled shack. But he doesn't change. He, in essence, is still the same thing. And this is what I want us to wake up and to come to understand. Think of all the ways you have identified yourself. And even those simple things, because we all do it. You look in the mirror, you do something, oh, what an idiot, stupid, whatever. You take yourself to task. I'm not saying we didn't do that, but that doesn't change who we are. You hear the stories all the time. What's rags to riches? You know those stories of rags to riches? People who start with nothing, and then they make something of themselves. So who were they when they were in the rags? They were the same person who eventually was going to be the rich person or the head of the industry or whatever it is. What's the difference? They're the same person. The difference is what they're doing on the outside, the house, so to speak, that they're in. So we've got to go back and say, no, who am I? And we want to start to understand, who are we really? And there's a nice story. One of the great Kabbalists, I believe it was Rabbi Elimelech of Lizensk, one of the students of the Baal Shem Tov, if you know. If not, Google them, find out who they are. But he and his brother, they call them the Holy Brothers, Rabbi Elimelech and Rab Zusha. They used to go, after they became the righteous people they were, the great Kabbalists, to keep their egos in check, they would go out in what they called self-imposed exile. Like they dress up as beggars and they go around, the Poland, Ukraine area, begging for food and asking for help and things like that, just to keep their ego in check. Also, to see where they still had ego. So there's one story that, they went to this town, there was a big event going to happen, let's say, the famous Rabbi Elimelech was coming to town and there was going to be this big event, right? But when he arrives in his beggar's clothes. So as he's walking around, he's asking some guy for help. And some guy's, like giving him the business, as they say, almost beating him with a cane. Get out of here. Who are you? Like this. The next day he goes to the event, and who does he see standing in front? Rabbi Elimelech, the great, wise Kabbalist. So he runs up to him and he begs forgiveness. He begs forgiveness. I'm sorry, I didn't know, whatever. And Rabbi Elimelech, and we need to take this lesson. Listen carefully. Rabbi Elimelech, when he's dressed as the tzaddik, the righteous person, he's ready to give this, wise lesson. He says, don't ask me for forgiveness because I wasn't the one you insulted. You have to find that poor person that you insulted and ask their forgiveness. You understand? So this, and that's, thank you very much. This is what ultimately you're going to get to, or I'm going to get to here, but we've got to just come to the fundamental understanding, I am not, or you are not, what we do or say or act on the outside. That can't be the definition because it changes. The whole thing, where are your emotions? Emotions. Are emotions stable? No, not even for you and me. And I'm not saying in a extreme way, but like we said, one day happy, one moment, and then the next minute unhappy. Right? You burned the toast. You were so excited about breakfast. Now the toast got burned. What happened to the happiness? Right? Disappears. So the outside is going to change. But you and I are coming to define ourselves by the inside and understand what's really there and who we really are. So, as we know, Kabbalists, we affirm. The Zohar says consciousness is everything. We build our world. We create our world by our consciousness. So the Kabbalists teach like this. Who is wise? Now you're going to identify yourself as wise. So we want to say, well, I have information, I know some Kabbalah, I've read the Zohar, whatever, science, whatever it may be, I know everything there is to know about plumbing. Great, does that make me a wise man? So the Kabbalists say, who is wise? The one who learns from everyone. The one who learns from everyone is the wise person. So, like this, whatever I say that you didn't know, now you have an added piece of information, wisdom, or, spiritual knowledge. Does it make us any wiser? Or we didn't know it before we heard it, or before I read in a book something that inspired me. I wasn't wise? No, the one who learns from everyone, who is strong. So think about it. Now we are inundated on all kinds of media out there. Who's strong? The guy who, was the underdog in the MMA and beat the champion, the first fight out, right? The one who can lift the most weight. Who's strong? The one who can hire and fire thousands of people, right? Isn't that strength, power, to be able to hire or fire like that? No, the Kabbalists say, who's strong? The one who can control their desire to receive for oneself alone. The one who controls their desire to receive for oneself alone. That's the strong person. Who is rich? Oh, here we go. it it wasn't planned this way, but okay, here. Whatever it says in my checkbook, right, determines, all right, what I have in the bank. No. Who's rich? One who is happy with what they have. So, like we said, the rags to riches. When they didn't have, were they not a rich person? When they have, how many people do you know who have physically a lot of things, but they don't feel? I think I told you once a story. I know a friend of mine from growing up from childhood lived in an area in the South Bay of California, LA County, that may still be, but at that time was per capita a richer area than Beverly Hills. Lived in a house, the structure itself, the building, not the land, the structure was $1 million house. And she thought she was poor because they used to shop at outlet stores. Who's rich? The one who's happy with what they have. Here's one. Who is honorable? Well, if you have fame, fortune, and status, you must be honorable, right? Because people honor you. In fact, they have, people call them even their idols. What could be more, quote, honored than an idol? We'd like to think we honor the Creator, right? But in many ways, we also give honor to idols, false gods, literally. So the Kabbalists say, who is honorable? He or she who honors other people. And remind me if I don't get there, but like we affirm, all human beings. We have to honor all human beings. The ones who are currently doing nice things and the ones who are currently doing not nice things. But we'll come to understand that. So you and I learn here, and this is the fundamental lesson for today to keep reminding us, and I don't think we talked about it recently, but we often speak about it here on Spiritual Sunday. I am, we are, pure and perfect beings of light. That's our true essence. We are pure and perfect beings of light. Why? Because that's how the Creator created us. We are pieces of the light of the Creator. Read in the Bible, whatever Bible you believe in, it all goes back to essentially Genesis. That's where it all starts. Whether you're Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, whatever it may be. But the Bible says we're created in the image and likeness of God. So what does that mean? So, especially now, I think I told you when I first started in the center, there were maybe 200, 300 students around the world, and they were basically all Israeli and Persian Jews. Now you look around the center, right? You see all over the world, people watching us. Macedonia, Cape Town, Hong Kong. I mean, we all don't look the same, besides just male, female, and whatever else. So, which one of you are the image of God? Meaning, which one of the rest of us are not, right? Maybe God doesn't look like me. Maybe, I just thought, maybe God has 8 billion heads, right? So we all look like God. But you and I come to understand here, and the Kabbalist teaches, it means we have a piece of the light of the Creator. Pure and perfect light, the power to create infinitely, basically. So what's the issue? Well, we've learned when we come down into this world, we have free will. And what does our free will allow us to do with our piece of the light of the Creator, with our pure and perfect light beingness? It gives us the ability, and sadly we've used it too much, to be reactive, to do selfish things, egotistical things, self-centered things, even in subtle ways. Even in subtle ways. You and I, we're all great people. If you're here following, if you're a student in the center, you've got to be a great person. But we all have our little irritation and impatience and a little bit of judgment and anger and fear, no? Yes or yes? Okay. Okay. Does it make us horrible people? No, but we have to acknowledge we are misusing our power of the Creator, our piece of the Creator. We're misusing it. Not even, so much even for everybody else. Let's just think for ourselves. You and I have learned cause and effect. So every time a person acts with anger, it'll go out, makes a circuit, and comes back. Comes back to the person who addressed it. Every action we do addresses a spiritual email out into the cosmos, and it comes back to who we address it to. So we all have that. That's our free will. Or we can do the opposite. We can, like we learned from Kabbalah 1, I'm feeling angry, pause. Send out a message, self-addressed, kindness, tolerance, forgiveness, send it out there. The nice part is, as it's traveling the universe, whatever the energy is shining or extending out on 8 billion people. So a person acts with anger, it'll go back and come specifically back to them as an opportunity to be angry again, meaning somebody's going to do something, pushes their angry button. But as it's going out and around, it's also sort of shining down, right, raining down on 8 billion people. So 8 billion people, because we're on that spiritual internet, also having a little drop of anger being awakened in them, dropped on them, influenced them. So if they're also an angry person, maybe that drop that's falling on them is the drop that flips the balance from sort of, being angry and upset and let's say just suppressing it to no longer suppressing it, screaming, yelling, or worse. The opposite is also true. We send out the message, no, I'm feeling angry, but I pause. Like we learn, I say, no, what do I want to come back to me? Kindness and forgiveness, because I need kindness and forgiveness. The beauty is, as it goes out, and it's going to come back specifically to me as somebody, something, bringing into my life kindness, forgiveness, compassion, but it's also raining down on 8 billion people as it travels out there because of the one unified soul. It's raining down a little more kindness and compassion, which is also then the person's at 50-50. They're feeling angry. They're thinking they want to scream at this person, whatever it is. But our drop of kindness, compassion, and forgiveness falls on them and they say, you know what? Maybe they just had a bad day. Let me have compassion on them. We have no idea how much we are impacting the world. The world. You think all those leaders out there of business or politics or whatever, the leaders of even crime organizations, the Kabbalists, and we've mentioned it here and there, the leader of whatever it is influenced by all the people that, in essence, they're leading. So the head of a crime organization is being influenced and empowered by all the people in the organization. So if the people in the organization more selfish and self-centered, then they're just giving that collective power to their leader. If the people are kind and compassionate and caring and generous and forgiving and tolerant, then the leader's being influenced with that. So again, don't start pointing your finger at everybody else. Well, look at them. They're cheating. They're lying. They're greedy. They're angry. They're this. They're that. Okay. They may be. We're not denying that physical fact on the outside. I'm not going to go there. On the outside, but we also have empowered them with our peace. Our drop that rained down collected with 8 billion other drops and fell on those people who are in the position of leadership. It's also falling on us. In the most fundamental terms, in our microcosm, who's the leader of your world? Who leads your world? I know some of you are already going, them. Mom, dad, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, right? They're leaders. You have no idea. When we used to do introductory lectures, and every now and then I say, what brought you here? And every now and then somebody go, him, her, like that. Like, I didn't really want to come, but what could I do? They dragged me here. Like that. Okay, but we are the leader. So again, the micro and the macrocosm are the same. The difference is just the intensity of impact. That's all. So then remind ourselves, we are pure and perfect beings of light. I am, and I didn't bring one, but, I can't take it off my computer. But some of you remember, I have little stickers. If you want one, ask me. I have somebody who makes these little stickers. I'm a pure and perfect being of light. So I put them on my mirror. I put them in my car. So when I'm ready to take myself to task, there it is. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm reminding myself. You know what my opponent does? Oh, you don't know what my opponent does? Okay, let me tell you what my opponent does. So even this, like I'm telling you, I've got them on all my mirrors. I got it on my computer. But let's say I'm brushing my teeth and I'm thinking like this. So my opponent, because often, I try to remember, look at the sticker and remind myself, look in my own eyes in the mirror. I am a pure and perfect being of light. I love you. I appreciate you. Look what you've done growing, whatever it is. And every now and then, my opponent, I'll be so focused on brushing my teeth or flossing or whatever it is, I don't see the sticker. It's right there on my mirror. I mean, all I have to do is lift my eyes, a few inches to see this. No, I get caught up in it. My mind goes somewhere else. I'm brushing my teeth, so I got to focus on that. And then I walk out. So it's easy. That's why consciousness is everything. And if we don't pause here and there, especially when we're triggered, you can't be conscious. Even the good things we do, probably, well, let's say for you and me, let's be generous. 80% of them are unconscious. It's just the way we are, right? Like people in your life, anybody in your life who's just, as we call them, naturally a good person, naturally a happy person, naturally a kind person? You ever heard that? Yeah, exactly. So what does it mean, naturally? It means they're not making any change, so it's not conscious. They came into the world a nice person, and they just live the niceness unconsciously, because that's just, quote, who they are. No, we're here to be 100%. The Creator gave us 100%. Our job is to live into the 100%. How happy, fulfilled, joyous, peaceful, prosperous, whatever, all the rest of the blessings, how much of that do you want? 80% of what the Creator gave you? 90%. That'd be pretty good, right? Some of us feel maybe we're at 50, 60, so 90 would be really great. Okay, but once you start getting used to 90, then what? So let's just go. That's the beauty of the center. Just teaches us we've got 100%, just go for the 100%. Okay, you still have to walk the path, so to speak, from 80 to 81, 2, 3, like that. You got to keep going, but at least have the goal of 100%. How many football players, right? American football. Do you think when they catch the ball on their own 10-yard line, think, you know what? I only want to get to my 30 or my 40. I hope some of you, if you don't know football, you're going to have to listen to this again and look it up. But no, they want to get to the goal line. They want to get to the end zone. So yes, they may not always get to the end zone, but their goal, their desire is to get to the end zone. Not just 10 yards, 5 yards, whatever, 20 yards, 50 yards. They don't want to get to the 5-yard line. They want to get into the end zone. So why should we be any different? We're talking about every facet of our life, not just the sports game. The Creator gave us light of 100%. That means we have the potential of 100% fulfillment. Not 99, 100%. Maybe it's online. Okay. Somebody out there in cyberspace, I just heard your opponent. Settle for 90, right? Or somebody's out there going, it's not true. Who do you see that's ever been 100%? Even if you read the stories of the great sages, Moses was 100%, no doubt in my mind. But what is your opponent telling you? Not you, somebody. Yeah, but look, the Bible says he complained, he had trouble, they accused him of all kinds of terrible stuff. How could he have had a decent life? How could it be 100% if he had complainers 40 years in the desert, every day complaining that he wasn't doing enough for them, and or he was a thief, or he was an adulterer, or he was a nepotist, or whatever it may be. They accused him of all kinds of things. Yeah, Moses. Didn't affect him. Like we said, even though people tried to put him in a shoddy house, he still knew he was a pure and perfect being of light. And he emanated that light 24/7. Not everybody saw it, but that's a different issue. We may not see it, Optical illusion. Anybody not heard of an optical illusion? What does it mean? They're showing you one thing and there's actually something else. The ones, the little pictures that hide faces and things like that, whatever it is, whatever optical illusion you think. So when we look at the world, what's the optical illusion? Ooh, this is a good topic for another one too. You look at the world, what's the optical illusion? That there's chaos, pain, suffering, and death. I'm not denying what you're calling the fact, but we have to understand it's the same thing. When you look in the mirror and you say, oh, you're an idiot. That's an optical illusion too. It's just the misuse of the light of the Creator. You made a mistake. That doesn't make you an idiot. It just means you made a mistake. Go clean up the mess. Okay, I'm clumsy. I spilled the milk on the floor. Okay, I acted clumsy, but I am not clumsy. I'm still a pure and perfect being of light. Okay, and because I'm a pure and perfect being of light and there's spilled milk or spilled drink, what do I know to do? Because of the light. Take a towel, take whatever, wipe it up, clean it, put it back to perfect, the original state. That's our job. So if we keep, as the Kabbalists teach us to do, and we're learning here in the center, two things. One, we began as we came out of the endless world, pure and perfect beings of light. Okay, we live in this world of tikkun, we live in this world of physicality, we muddied ourselves up with pain, anger, jealousy, greed, all that kind of stuff. But in the end of the tikkun, the correction process, we're going to take off all the mud and we will reveal again our pure and perfect beingness. It didn't go away. It just was hidden from our view because of all the mud, as we often call it, or the veils of the negative emotions, the negative actions. When it says about the Creator, and I looked it up just so you remember, in the prophet Malachi, verse 3:6, says, I am God, I never change. We understand that, meaning what? The light is the light. The light shines. So when the light looks down on this world, the Creator metaphorically, because those of you who are newer, there is no physical being, God. There's the infinite emanator of light, and then there's the infinite light. The infinite light is what we make the connection to, and we're here to emulate. But when the Creator metaphorically looks down, or the light looks down on the world, what does the light see? Pure and perfect beings of light and a pure and perfect world. Because that's what we are predestined to achieve. We started in the Garden of Eden in this world. We're going to end up in the Garden of Eden. The only free will we have is the easy way, the difficult way. The way of mercy, it's called, or the way of judgment. The school of hard knocks, as some people call it, or the way of spiritual awakening and spiritual behavior. Greater love, kind, compassion for all people. That's how we're going to re-reveal, from our point of view, take away the illusion of the Garden of Eden. So as we'll align ourselves more and more with our pure and perfect beingness, then let's go back to what the Kabbalists say. The wise, the one who learns from everyone. If we're aligned with the light, then we know everyone and everything comes into our life to give us a message. Even the bad things that happen to us, the people who, let's call it, deliver our sense of anger, fear, jealousy, insecurity, guilt, and shame, even that, if we are aligned with the light, we understand it's a message from my soul. They're the deliverer of the message, but it's a message from my soul. So I want to learn what my soul, the light in me, is teaching me, what message it's giving me. So the wise is the one who learns from everyone and everything, because I'm seeing the light everywhere. I know the light is the only thing there is. The rest is just my illusion. Who is the strong person? We said the one who shares, the one who controls their desire to see oneself alone. Because why? Acting with desire to see oneself alone puts us the opposite of the Creator. And opposites repel, like attracts like. So if a person is acting in the opposite of the Creator's nature, fear, guilt, shame, anger, insecurity, greed, jealousy, etc., then they're disconnected from the Creator and all the blessings. So they may get something immediately, but it's only temporary. The only thing that's lasting blessings is when it's empowered by the light. Because the light is the only eternal thing. Who is the rich? We said, The one who's happy with what they have. Doesn't mean that's all you're going to get. But if a person's not happy with what they have now, meaning if you and I are as we are, not if, as we and when we align with the light, then you see in everything around you, the house you're in now, the car you drive now, the people that are in your life now, the money that you have now, the body you have now, you see that it's shining light. And therefore you're happy with that. But like we said, the Creator gave us 100. So yes, I'm happy now with whatever, let's say it's the 80%. That doesn't mean I don't also want to reveal the other 20%. They're not contradictory. But when a person's not happy with what they have now, then the Kabbalists tell us they'll never be happy with what they've got. They'll have $1 billion in the bank, they still won't be happy. Because somebody else has $1 billion and one. Somebody else has a bigger yacht. Whatever it is. If they're inherently not letting themselves be happy, they won't be happy with anything. So when we're happy with the light, we'll be happy all the time. That's rich. Who is honorable? We said the one who honors everybody. Other people. Why should we honor? And see, now it's the misconstruction, the misconstruing what honoring means. Honoring doesn't mean you bow to them, because I can hear, why should we honor murderers and thieves and all the terrorists and all the people doing bad stuff? You cannot say anymore, if you apply this or as you're applying this, you can't say they're evil people. There are people doing evil things, but there's no such thing as an evil person. They're pure and perfect beings of light, exercising their free will, have trapped themselves in so much mud that the only way they get a tiny spark of a sense of fulfillment is by doing dastardly things. So we need to have compassion on them. As it says, who is honorable? If we're looking to have honor, so to speak, from the universe, not from other people, then we have to honor the light in this universe, and there's light in everybody. The beauty of it is, like we said, if we're beaming light, you want to stop all the hatred and the violence and the terrorism and all the terrible stuff, the chaos and confusion, send so much light that you wake up the pure and perfect light beingness in the people who are doing those dastardly things. You wake up at the light in them, like we were saying before, they will feel when there's enough light shined, let's just call it a terrorist, people really doing dastardly things, when there's enough light shining on them, awakening their soul, their pure and perfect beingness, they are going to feel internally as if their hand is in fire. And like we said, if you and I touch a hot stove, how long does it take you to remove your hand? Second or less. Microseconds. When we shine so much light on those people, quote, honoring the light in them, that they will feel internally as if they are on flames, on fire, walking into a fire, thrown into a fire, they will immediately want to get out of that. And because we've awakened the light of the Creator in them, it will be greater love, kindness, compassion, forgiveness, and tolerance. And greater in their level, may not be what we do, but it's going to be a lot better than the negative things that they're doing right now. That is the way we're going to stop the chaos. So, Jacob and Esau, just to give you a biblical idea for those of you out there. So it says, Jacob, the great patriarch Jacob. And Kabbalistically even, you have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, if you know, right, left, and center. And the essence of Jacob is central column, balance, the purpose of being in this world. But they say his brother Esau, I guess it's in English. They were twins in the same in the same womb with a B, in the same womb, right? So it's not like Abraham, Isaac, and Ishmael. They were two separate people. No, same. So even the Kabbalists, if you read some of the writings, they say Jacob represented like our good inclination. Esau represented our evil, our negative inclination. but it was the same. But the Kabbalist writes something amazing. Even though Esav was always trying to get rid of Jacob, and the whole story, if you know the biblical story, and even if you know some of the Kabbalistic explanations, but it says Esav was potentially 1,000 times greater than Jacob. Now, again, he had free will. He got caught up in the 1%, even on the physical story, which we know is true, but it's only the tiny spark of understanding the great depth that the 5 books of Moses is teaching us. But 1,000 times more. He just didn't live into it. He was still living caught up in the physical. He wanted the car and the house and the job and people to honor him. He wanted people to say what a great person he is. That was him. Now, can any of you relate to that? Don't you want people to like you? Don't you want people to do what you want? Don't you want people to think you're successful or you're happy or you're a good person or spiritual person or what have you? Same part. That's your Esav. The Jacob is the one that just wants to be in alignment with the light and reveal our potential. So even those people out there that today we're looking at in all the various ways, even your neighbor, you have a neighbor that's, being nasty to you. Okay, they may not be, murdering and whatever else is out there, but you think they're nasty. You still have to honor the light in them. Honor the light in them, you'll draw out the light in them. Meanwhile, what are you doing to yourself? You're bringing out more of your light, because it takes more of your light to honor or connect to the light in the person that yesterday you had blockage towards. Okay. I am God, I do not change. I want to just remind you that. So whatever you're experiencing now, the good, the bad, the ups and downs, the pain, the pleasure, the happy, sad, know that it's only temporary. Yes, okay, some of you, temporary may be a year, 5 years, 10 years. The temporary nature of the world is 5,784 years, but it's still temporary, meaning there is an end. It is limited. Know that it does not change who you are. Whether you're up, down, happy, sad, whatever it is, doesn't change who you really are. Keep in your mind, as we were saying today, keep in your heart that you are a piece of the Creator's light, the pure and perfect light of the Creator. Pure and perfect. You are a piece, one piece of the quantum 8 billion unified soul. And therefore, this world cannot do without you. Cannot do. It cannot be complete. If there's 8 billion pieces, it cannot be complete with 7,999,999,999. So you are essential. Cannot be complete. Know that you are somebody because the Creator does not create junk. So today, commit yourself to live into your perfect self, letting the world see your pure and perfect beingness by doing actions of greater love, kindness, and compassion to all human beings. God bless. Thank you. Thank you, those online. Oh, I did it here. So we appreciate, again, every week I want to just remind myself, really, appreciation. Appreciation is a vessel for our next blessing. So I know many of you are contributors to the center and to Spiritual Sunday, and this is why we take this time now for the offering to bless it. So I just want to appreciate, and again, we are now, I think it's almost 160,000 of these are out there. Now it's about 2 months. Last year we did 100,000. So it's with your support that we can teach Kabbalah and we can spread the Zohar and get rid of all the pain and suffering in the world. So I just want to thank you. Oh, let me put that here. For those of you online, here is, 1 second. That's what I want. Here's the link to give. We'll do the meditation together. Then we have a meditation. Why isn't it going on the 72 names. There it is. Okay. We'll be using this name just as a quick preview. So just hold your offering, those of you here physically, those of you online. Remember, money is a vessel. Like we said, it doesn't define us, but how we use the light in it, in essence, is revealing who more of our light, or heaven forbid, not in our cases, but leaving us as we are. So we want to put Our light and our blessing, just gratitude and appreciation, acknowledging consciously on our next higher level up. Everything we have, everything we are, is the nature of the light in us. Our job is to be pure and perfect vessels, beings of light, meaning just channels of that. So as it comes in from above, our love, our wisdom, our resources, our kindness, forgiveness, everything that's of the light, our work in this world is just shining it out into the world, just being a messenger, a conduit, paying it forward. And so we inject our love, our light, and our blessings into this offering, seeing it reach out through the projects of the center, of teaching Kabbalah and spreading the books of the Zohar, to influence all 8 billion people on the planet, reaching into their heart and soul, awakening the pure light of the Creator in you and me and them simultaneously. That it awakens us, motivates and inspires us to act with our greater love, kindness, compassion, all the light attributes that are inside us. Adding to the light, the peace, the unity in the world by transforming more and more of the pieces of darkness, chaos, and confusion. So in our mind's eye, let us see a world that's happier, more loving, more peaceful. As we send our gifts out into the world, and together we say, Amen. So let's take a moment. You have it here. For those of you who are unfamiliar, what you see in front of you is called one of the 72 names of God. It is made up of Hebrew or Aramaic letters. The Kabbalists teach us, the Rosicrucians teach, the Keys of Enoch teaches, a few other, what they used to call occult or mystery schools, also teach the same thing, that the Hebrew letters are primordial. They are just the manifestation of various frequencies of the light of the Creator when it comes into the physical world. In the same way, our body is a manifestation of the spiritual energy called our soul. So they are primordial. The eyes are the window to the soul. Make sure they're seeing it. So what you see in front of you is a combination of 3 energies coming from the endless world, channeled through these portals, Vav, Shin, Resh, so you'll know the names of the letters. They just shine this light. Combined, it's giving us this strength, it's awakening the light inside of us to break the cycle of chaos, confusion, negativity. Breaking the old, limited ideas that have solidified inside us and people in the world, and therefore opening up space for the light that's in us to shine out into our world. Vav, Shin, Resh. So just look at the shapes. Remember the names, Vav, Shin, Resh. Let them be engraved in your mind's eye. And then if I can ask you, sit comfortably in your seat, feet flat on the floor, hands in your lap. Taking a few deep breaths, breathing in through the nose. Hold the breath for a moment. Exhale through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose, as deep down to the abdomen as you can. Exhale through the mouth, creating a circulation of not only the physical air, but the spiritual air, which is the light of the Creator. And therefore allowing yourself to relax not only physically, but also spiritually. With each breath, feeling more and more of the light inside you awakening, the vibrations being raised. sensing, acknowledging the infinite light that exists around us. Elevating, raising our consciousness of the truth that there is only the light of the Creator in the world. Ein od milvado, only light. Feeling yourself wrapped in that energy of pure light, unconditional love. And let's envision the Vav Shin Resh just above your head, shining, pulsing, vibrating with this pure light of the Creator. The power, the strength, the guidance to break the cycle of chaos and confusion that we are in individually and collectively. And allow that combination Vav Shin Resh, the name of God, to enter in through the top of your head, beaming light throughout all of your inner being from head to toe. Feel, sense, acknowledge a greater level of light, that pure and perfect being of light inside you, now being activated. The light in every cell of your body physically, every aspect of the light inside you, vibrating higher and higher right now. Vav Shin Resh. The strength to break the cycle. Think of one situation in your life that keeps reoccurring. Different times, through different situations, circumstances, through different people, but you see that it is the same situation over and over. Allow the light of the Vav Shin Resh to shine on that situation. Let it open up your heart, your soul, and your mind. And ask your soul for guidance, for clarity, how to break that cycle. What do you need to do to take you out of that cycle of chaos and confusion and difficulty and raise you into the level of light, love, peace, serenity? Allowing you to move to your next higher level of consciousness and the corresponding greater sense, manifestation of fulfillment in your life. Listen for a moment to what your soul is telling you and record it in your heart, mind, and soul. And let's together take a beam of this energy of the Vav Shin Resh, sending it out through the heart and soul of our loved ones to awaken the strength, the guidance, to break their cycles of chaos, confusion, and negativity. And through them, continuing this beam of light, Vav Shin Resh, to the heart and soul of all humanity. Seeing it, feeling it, acknowledge that this beam of light pierces the mud, the klipot, the veils and curtains that people have around them, and does reach the target of their heart and soul, the light inside them. Awakening that light, causing it to vibrate in a higher, stronger, more intense level. That their mud is being removed, the veils being split, and more of their imprisoned light shining out into their life through their heart, soul, and mind. Together, let's hold the vision of a world at peace, people unified, getting along, supporting each other's process, kindness, compassion, generosity. Living in higher actions of simple human dignity. Light enveloping the world. All of us living in heaven on earth. We hold that vision, that energy vibration in our heart, our soul, our mind. And together we'll take one more deep breath to anchor it in. It's easier for us to live and express, manifest. And as you exhale, slowly opening your eyes. Those of you here, thank you very much for joining us. Those of you online, thank you for joining us. And please remember, pay it forward just in a few minutes when we finish. It'll be on the Facebook page. Just push share, put it out there into your cyberspace and let other people who are ready. Like will attract like. So somebody, because you put it out there, is going to click it, or it's going to show up however that works, and they're going to then be inspired to do the same thing we're doing. And the more people in our army of light who are doing this, the faster we make people awaken spiritually, and the faster we make people who do the dastardly things feel that pain, that they will stop it immediately, which is good for them as well as for the rest of us. So God bless, have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. If you liked what you saw, subscribe to this channel that you'll be notified when we post new videos. Share the video with your friends, they can also benefit. And check out the website, www.kabbalah.com, that's Kabbalah, for hundreds of articles and classes. Wish you an amazing day, and God bless.